Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Monday. It's normally time for a 5x5, but we've shifted to 5x5 for a week because, as promised on Friday, this is going to be a full expose of Big Blind. So you are going to see exactly what Big Blind is. You're going to see exactly how it works. I'm holding absolutely nothing back. We're going to talk about everything now. Before I begin, I know there's going to be people in the comments that say, "Oh, why are you exposing your trick?" Well, first of all, it's my trick. I can do what I want. And the thing is, some people get concerned that lay people will find this video and therefore will know how the trick works if they perform it to real people. Which will never happen. I mean, Michael, I think we need to explain the YouTube algorithm to people that say that. Like,
they're not going to find this.
First of all, this is a long form video. Well, first of all, actually, this is not going to get tagged, right? This video is not going to get tagged. It's not going to get indexed. It's not going to get SEO'd in any way, shape or form. And it's going to be titled Big Blind. But if you went to perform this to somebody in your next gig, they're not going to type in Big Blind and find this video. They just and also they're never gonna find it. And to be honest, if they do and they click on a 45-minute video, or how long this is going to be, maybe they deserve to learn the secrets at that point, to be perfectly honest. The thing you need to understand about this YouTube channel, Magic TV, this is really a YouTube channel that is watched by magicians and only magicians. Lloyd Barnes, and he has a lot of kind of newer people that get into magic that watch his stuff because of how it's formatted. You're looking at a bloke in a suit standing, sitting in front of a whiteboard, holding a box with some poker chips on it, nattering for 45 minutes. Trust me, the only people that watch this shit are magicians. And it's nothing to worry about. So then you ask, why am I exposing my tricks? Well, I've been doing it for 2 years now, and the reason is very, very simple. I only want people to buy this if they think that they can get value from it. I don't want people to buy. I did this in the early days when I buy something. When I first got into magic and I'd open it, I'd be so disappointed. When I first got into magic as well, it was before the internet. Yes, I'm an old fart. And I used to send off for stuff on mail order, and it sounded amazing in the little magazine I was reading. And then when it came through the post, it was just a bag of crap. And I would be so disappointed. And I want people to know that if they buy it, it's because it's something that's going to suit them. That's kind of the main thing. And that's why I'm kind of exposing it. That's why I wanted everyone to know exactly what this is, what it does, because I think this is great. I've been using this as my opener and walk around for years now. This has been like 3 or 4 years in the making, and this is probably my favorite thing that I've ever created. And I want to share it with absolutely everybody. And, it's great that the review, me and Luke Dancy have made up over this. This is crazy. Big Blind brought me and Luke together. Luke Dancy said he loved it. Blake has said he's absolutely loved it, which is amazing. He's one of my favorite magic reviewers. Alex from Monster Magic reviewed it and said it was the best trick I've ever done. The reviews are pretty much unanimously being positive. And obviously, when it first came out, there were a couple of people that were upset about stuff. I think on the Q&A that I did on Friday, I addressed all of those concerns. But it's time to show you how this works and exactly what it does. So let's do that right now. I have a pair of scissors. I'm unboxing a brand new one for you lot right now. So you can see exactly what it should look like when it comes out of the box. So you get a pair of scissors. There you go. And you hack at the box. I'm not very good with packaging. Am I, Michael? You normally open all the packaging for me. I'm rubbish at it. But you open up the box. Shut up.
This is going to be half of the 45 minutes.
It really is. Right, there you go. You open up the box, you throw the stuff over there, you take your scissors, you get rid of those, and you're good to go. Right, so this is Big Blind. Now, for those of you, just before they open the packaging, for those of you that don't know, Big Blind is a prediction of a card on a poker chip, or on 3 poker chips, right? So you have 3 poker chips, and they're designed to have the card predicted on the back of them. You've probably seen performances by now. You know what this is. Let me explain what you get when you open up the box. So when you open up the box, first of all, the box won't open. So that's the end of the video. This is not going like I planned. I thought it would be going a lot smoother than this. This is Murphy's and their dodgy packaging. Let's play Murphy's. Like, seriously, is there a way into this? I've only ever used the product. Like, what is going on? There we go. Hang on, I've got it. Right, brilliant. Okay. So, you want to get in close to this, Michael. Like, really coming close. So, first of all, when you open up the box, you're going to have some things. The first thing that you're going to have is this. And the second thing that you're going to have are these. Put the box away. So, first of all, these are your poker chips. We'll talk about these at the moment in a minute. They've all got 50 on one side because they're designed to be any currency. So this could be a €50, £50, $50. And at the moment, on the other side, you've got a spade, you've got a club, and you've got an of. That's what you have over here. Now, this is the index. And this took so long to create. Now, this is an index that holds these inserts. So let me explain. This is a magnetic index. And as you can see, this is very, very thin. Let me grab a deck of cards. So we've got a deck of cards here. This is designed to be able to be fit on the back of a pack of cards. That's how small this is. It's slightly smaller than a credit card, smaller than a card box, and it's also ridiculously thin. Javier, who designed this, he designed it so everything tapers inwards, which makes the angles brilliant. I mean, to be honest, there are very few angles because this is in your pocket for most of the handlings, but it doesn't need to be. What's really cool is you've got 6 inserts for values, 2 inserts for suits, and that will get you every single card. Now, as I said on my Q&A video, this is really based on The Killer Prediction by Cody Fisher, Predator Wallet by R. Paul Wilson. And what I wanted, it was really important to me when developing this, that the index was really small, so that it took up very little pocket space. That was really important to me. So, this is the index. Now, each one of these is magnets. And the inserts are double-sided, and it covers every single card. So let me show you what I mean. You have a 2 and you have a 3. You have a 4 and you have a 5. You have a 6 and you have a 7. You have an 8. Now, you don't have a 9 on the other side. You have an ace. And the reason is the 6 also doubles up as the 9, which is great. So we can get every card on 6 inserts. So the 8 actually has an ace on the other side, a 10, a jack, and a queen and a king. Those are all your value inserts. Now, then you've got your poker chips. The of is pretty much a normal poker chip. We'll get back to that a little bit later on. And then you've got these 2 poker chips. These are the special ones. This is the reset, by the way. Boom, done. Boom, done. It's that simple. So you have 2 suit indices as well. You have the sharp suits, diamonds and spades, because a spade is pointy and a diamond's pointy. There's the sharp suits. And the soft suits, because they're rounded, are the hearts and the clubs. They sit there like that. Now, because this is all magnetically locking, these aren't going to fall out in your pocket. We've tested this for a very, very long time. And do you notice, Michael, do you notice that little notch there? I don't know if you can see that. That was added after a while, because sometimes when I was wearing loose jeans, this was moving around in my pocket slightly. And I wanted to be sure I knew which end was which. So by feeling for that in my pocket, I can tell which is which end immediately. So everything's been thought through here. So every single, there's 8 indexes. And with every single one of these, you can have any card. Now, these 2 poker chips here, the of is normal, these 2 are shells, right? And the shells are perfect, the shells are great, no problem at all with the shells. And they've got magnets in them as well, so that when you pop something in there, it locks. We'll get to examinability in a bit, because that's been a hot topic, hasn't it? But that is basically the index. So for the main routine, and I'll tell you right now, my favorite handling is the purse routine. I have a purse, I believe. I bought an extra purse to show you how the main routine, the purse routine works. But for the main routine, I just have these somewhere accessible, like in my pocket somewhere, and I have the index in my pocket. Now, this index, because I'm right-handed, goes into my right-hand pocket. We'll talk about other handlings in a bit, but this goes into my right-hand pocket. And I can have other stuff in there as well. I typically have a Keymaster key, I have some coins, I have a chip from Cheetah Chips, a whole bunch of different stuff. But when I want to go into this and I want to go into the classic routine, I'm just going to reach over into my pocket and I'm going to grab these two suits like this. So both hands go into my pockets. My left hand comes out with the chips, and my right hand comes out with the two inserts. Now, this is not the easy routine. This is kind of the first routine I developed with it. So you show the three chips, and this is working on a one-ahead system, which is what Cody Fisher and R. Paul Wilson did so well, and other people have explored that plot as well. But the main routine is a one-ahead principle. So, and we'll go through other handlings in a bit as well. But I've got the chips here, and you can see that I'm looking at the shells. So the presentation is, Michael, I'm going to have you think of a card. I'm going to bet you that I can tell you what the card is. And then what I'm going to do, Michael would hold his hand out, and I would put the first chip onto his hand, and I actually put the of onto his hand, but he doesn't know that. And I'd say, so you thinking of a card, Michael, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll pretend this is in my pocket. I'd say, Michael, concentrate on the suit. Is it a club?
No.
What's the suit?
It's a diamond.
Darn. Now, as soon as I know that, I've got everything here, because I can see I've got club and I've got spade, right? So it's very, very simple to load this in. All I have to do is flip the stack over, and then I take this off like this, and I've loaded the diamond. There's no sound issues. Some people say there's sound. There's not. Because you've got two chips, as you take that one off, you're just loading that diamond straight away. And then you say, okay, I'll bet you that one I can tell you the value. And you say it's Michael, is your value a 10?
No.
What's the value?
It was an 8.
Not very good at this, am I? And you go, okay, well, I've got one last chip. And I actually put down this one without having an insert into it. Now, I've still got this one insert here for the suit. So all I'm going to do is nonchalantly step back, put my hands into my pockets. This just goes back into here. And to get the 8, it's as simple as that. You're just literally in your pocket. You're just going to reach in and you're going to take out the 8. It takes literally 1 second like that. And you know, what I love about the purse handling, which you're going to see next, is that justifies your hand going into your pocket. I've got a few ways of justifying going into the pocket. Lloyd just likes to put his hands in there like that, just very nonchalant. He's a social performer, that works for him. You know, I talk on the project about taking a 52-and-1 card out, or a gag card or something like this, you know, to justify going into the pocket. But ultimately, I've got this here, so as I pick these up like this, I'm going to put them back into their hand. I'm going to say, well, you know, what was your card again? It was the 8 of diamonds. I knew that because that's got a diamond, that's got an of, and that's got an 8. And that's the routine. That's simple. Now, to reset, I'm just going to, as I walk away, that goes back into there, that goes back into there, and wham, bam, I'm reset and ready to go again, right? Now, if you want to justify going into the pocket and not have anything palmed at the beginning, this is why you use the purse. And this is my favorite handling. So a TCC purse works fine. This sort of purse works fine. Anything that will hold the 3 chips. So with this one, the 3 chips go into the purse like this. So the of is facing you. And I put the index in. I put the suits into the suit inserts into the purse as well. Can you see that in there?
Yeah.
Everything's in there, right? So that just goes in the same pocket as this, and I'm ready to go whenever I want to. So I'll bring the little purse out. I say I've got 3 poker chips in here. And I can even show them if I want to, because they can see 3 poker chips. I tend not to, but you can. And I get them to hold their hand out, and I say, right, I'm going to bet you that I can tell you what your card is. You know, you've seen the presentation already. I don't need to go through that again. I'm going to bet you I can tell you what the card is that you're thinking of. I'm going to try and influence you through what I say and what I do. It's going to influence you to make the decision that I want you to make. But you know, I'm going to try and do this. So I bet you £50 I can tell you the suit of your card. Michael, your card is it's a heart. Is that right?
No.
What was your suit?
It was a club.
I'm not very good at this. Now look at how cool this is. Because I've got my indices in here, all I have to do is just drag the necessary one out from the back, put it in the front as I take the chip out. I've already loaded, no palming, I've already loaded that in there. So now I can put the second one down, the suit is already loaded. So now I'll say, well, I bet you this one I can tell you the value of your card. It's a 5. Is it a 5, Michael?
No.
What was it?
It was 4.
4. Really close there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take out the final poker chip, put that down. I've left the insert in there. That's not important. I'm going to put this away in my pocket. That's my justification to go in the pocket. The purse goes into the pocket. All I have to do is just grab the 4 out. It's that quick. Just takes a second. And then I can say, well, what if I told you I influenced you the entire time? And I never did get it wrong. I was getting it right the entire time. And everything that I was saying was designed to get you to think of the card that I wanted you to think of. You wouldn't believe me, would you? Now, as I pick up these chips, again, I'm loading it. That's how fast it is. It's loaded. And now I can turn around and I can say, so your card was the 4 of clubs, right? That's the 4, that's the of, and that's the clubs, 4 of clubs. So you can have it like that, and that's all it is. It's that simple, right? And again, the reset on this one is just as easy as you walk away from the table. You just do that, and that goes into there. Takes 2 seconds. You do this. These 3 chips go back into the purse, and that goes there at the back of the purse, and you reset. It's very, very quick to reset. So that's the main routine. Now, I know some people were concerned about the quality of the chips. Let me just take these chips out. I know some people said there were alignment issues or something like that. I'm not too sure what people mean when they said that. Michael, have a really good look at this. Like, a really good look. I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to put this one here. Like, genuinely, do you see any problem with any of that? I don't.
They look the exact same as the of.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And that's...
I don't see an issue with alignment at all. Not one little bit. Like, we're zooming straight in. I just don't see a thing. It looks... Well, I've been doing this for 4 years. And you know, people, they've never even questioned it. It was surprising to me when magicians questioned the how they looked, because I've never had an issue with it. In terms of the sound, right, I don't see why people are saying there's a sound issue either, for a couple of different reasons. One, when you're loading this into here, it's actually quite quiet anyway. It's quieter than a coin in a coin shell because it's plastic. I will do it in full speed. So I've got this here. I've got the shell here. I'm going to load it in. I'm going to do it close to... This is the mic, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to listen. That's it. Right, I don't... That's the noise that people are making an issue over. That. Like, maybe if you were working in a nunnery? I don't know. Like, let's do it again. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But the routine's structured so that when I'm loading it, I've got 2 chips. So even if you hear something, it's the sound of the 2 chips clinking against each other. So it's absolutely, totally, not an issue. Now, let's talk about something else. A few people have said they can't use Big Blind because... okay, actually, before we talk about that, some people have said they don't like the one-ahead presentation. I talked about this in the Q&A. They don't like the idea that you're getting it wrong, and then you actually show that you've got it right. Now, I love that presentation. I love that Magician in Trouble style presentation. I really do. I've always loved that style of presentation. But, you know, if... And for me, it makes sense because I talk about how I'm going to influence somebody and listen to everything I say, listen to everything that I speak about. I'm going to try and influence you. And I act like everything I've said was designed to take them down one route. But if you don't like that presentation, that's the beautiful thing. You don't have to do it. Let me run through a couple of other examples. So let's say we are using the... the method with the coin purse. So there and there. Okay, so let's say we're using this method. I could say, for example, Michael, I've got 3 poker chips in here. Can you do me a favour? Can you name a card? Any card you want to?
The 2 of spades.
Now, do you want to change your mind? You're happy with the 2 of spades,
2 of spades, yeah?
You're happy with the 2 of spades. And it's not like I made you pick the 2 of spades, right? Now I'm done. I just put the purse away. All I've got to do is grab the 2. Okay? So now I say, I didn't make you pick the 2 of spades, did I? That was a free choice. You could have picked any card you wanted to, right?
Yep.
What's weird is I had these 3 poker chips in that purse from the very beginning, but it's got the 2 of spades on it, mate. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Now, the other thing that you can do with that, this is where me and Michael hope to hell that we've got a regular deck. because you guys don't know about this, but one of the funny things about this office is we'll go to find a regular deck, and there's so many gimmick decks in this office. I hit the mother load.
Hey.
I got a regular deck. So the other thing that you can do, by the way, and I don't even think I went through this on the tutorial, so this is worth talking about. So you don't, the point there, you don't have to use the one ahead system, right? You don't have to. So what you can do is you can combine this with a bit of lucky coin, which is quite cool. Let me show you what I mean by the legend that is Mr. Eric Tate. So what you can do is you can have a coin purse and you can have somebody shuffle a deck of cards. Now, this is not a full deck, so make sure that when you tell me a card, there's one that's in there, right, Michael? So you're having somebody shuffle a deck. Maybe you're going into this from a shuffle or something. You're going into this from, you've just done your 46 phase ambitious card routine, which always kills, and the audience are not dead yet, so you want to carry on. So they're shuffling the cards. And while they're shuffling the cards, you bring out this purse and you say, I've got 3 poker chips in here. They're going to help me find a card that you're going to pick in a minute. I'm going to take them out. Do me a favour. Can you name a card for me, Michael?
3 of clubs.
3 of clubs. And again, what I'm doing here, and it is this literally this quick, I'm loading the correct suit as I take them out. I'm putting this into my pocket. They're done. I've already got the 3 of clubs. I haven't done anything. I'm so far ahead. It's ridiculous. So then I take these back and I say, wonderful. You can see the 3 of clubs is there in the middle, and you cull it to the top and you say, I'm going to give them a shuffle as well, like this. And you say the first chip, can you do me a favor? What I'm going to do is I'm going to deal cards onto the table, and anytime you want to, just pick up one of the chips and just drop it onto the packet. So then they drop the chip onto the packet. The first chip gets dropped onto the packet like that. You go, brilliant. And you say, great, okay, so we're going to get rid of all of these. So now the 3 of clubs that they've picked is at the bottom. So now you can say, look, I'm going to go back and forth again. You've used one chip to make one choice. Now we're going to use another chip. And you can get them to do the dealing here. That's really fair. It was really, really fair. So now you can get them to do this, and you can say, look, the next chip, I want to drop it on one of these piles. And so, you know, let's say they drop it on this one, because obviously that's where the 3 is. Okay, wonderful. Now the last one, you're going to take 5 of these cards from where they stopped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the other one away. And I've put this in position for the quinterforce. So now with the last one, I pick up the last one. I say, look, I'm going to go back and forth along here. I just want you, give me any number between 1 and 100 for me, Michael.
17.
17. Would you like to change your mind?
No.
You can change your mind if you want to.
Change it to 94. No, stick with 17.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, which is quinterforce. I've forced the 3 of clubs, right? So now I can take these cards back, and I say you could have ended up on any of those, and you could have ended up on any of these, you could have ended up on any of these, but you ended up on this one here. And what was the card that you picked? The 3 of clubs. Check that out. That's the 3 of clubs. That's incredible. But to be honest, I knew it before you even picked it, before you even named it. You probably don't believe me. Well, I did. Look, it's got on here the 3 of clubs. So you can actually use it as a kicker ending to a card routine if you want to, which is pretty cool. Another way you can do it. So now you know you don't have to get one ahead. You can just literally take the poker chips out the purse, and you can have it set up. One thing I like to do is a little coins across type thing. So I say I've got 3. I say to somebody, name a card, and let's say they named the 3 of clubs. So I name a card and they go 3 of clubs, and you go, brilliant. I've got 3 chips here, 3 poker chips. These are the sort of chips that you'd find in a home casino kit. I'm going to show you something with them. But can you do me a favour? Remember that card, because I'm going to show you the difference between sleight of hand and real magic. Because there is a difference, and you're going to see the difference right now. I'm going to hold the chips here in my hand, and one at a time, I'm going to make them go up the sleeve, across the chest, down the other sleeve, and into my hand. The first one goes like this. Watch. All I have to do is squeeze. There it goes. That's the first one right there. Now, some people say it's going up my sleeve. I don't do that. I just concentrate, and the next one goes across like that. It's impressive, right? Watch the last one. Would you like to see the last one go visually?
Yeah.
Ta-da! I don't look very impressed. Look, I'll do it for real. Watch. There's the last one. That's sleight of hand. The hand being quicker than the eye. What's real magic is the fact that you could have named any card. You named the 3 of clubs, and you're not going to believe this, but I've actually got the 3 of and club on the back of the card, on the back of the chips. So you can actually use it in that regard. Now, some people have said to me, you can't use it if you're from a foreign country because of the of chip. Well, you don't need 3 chips at all. Let's get rid of the of chip for a minute. Might need to get that back. That was stupid. But let me explain. So let's say, let me just reset this. Some people said that the reset was ridiculously long. Done. So let's do this. So you're only using 2 chips. You're using the 2 shells. This is in your pocket. So you can do this a couple of different ways, but the way I would suggest doing it is I'd just say, oh, can you do me a favour? Can you name a card?
4 of hearts.
Are you sure you want the 4 of hearts? Yeah. Okay, cool. I have 2 chips here, 2 poker chips from like a little home casino thing. 2 poker chips and just 2 poker chips. You know what's really weird though? What's weird is these poker chips are special. Do you know what's special about them? You could have named any card, right? You named the 4 of hearts. And written on the back of them is the 4 of hearts. Now you don't need the of. The of is not needed at all for that type of presentation. If you like the one ahead style thing, you can do one ahead as well with these as well. Absolutely not a problem. So let's just go back to the purse for a minute. So you can do one ahead like this. So this is in your pocket. This is here. And you say, Michael, I want you to think of a card.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and tell you what your card is. I'm going to bet you, I've got 2 chips here. I've got 2 50s. Let's say I'm from Germany. They use euros in Germany, don't they? So I'm from Germany. So I've got 2 50s. Each one of these is a 50 euro. And you take the first one out and you put it down on their hand or on the table or whatever. And you say, I bet you 50 euros I can tell you the suit of your card. Was it a club?
No.
What was it?
Spades.
Damn it. So now I'm going to reach in. I'm going to take out the last one. But I've loaded the spade into it. So now I put this one down onto their hand and I say, I tell you what, I bet you that one, I can tell you the value of your card. And now I'm holding this and I go, it's a 10. Was it a 10, Michael?
No.
What was it?
It's king.
Now I put this away and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the king. Done. And I go, well, it looks like I failed, but what if I told you I hadn't? Because I never showed you the other side of these, but if I had, you'd realise that we've got the king of spades. So you can do the one ahead presentation, you can do just taking it out of the purse and putting it on the table presentation, and you don't need the off chip, which is good because it's flown onto the other side of the room. So we're quite happy about that, right? So yeah, now let's talk about examinability because people were concerned. Have you noticed, by the way, I don't know why I do this, I think it's a subconscious thing. Whenever I go and perform anything that looks like coin magic, even if it's poker chip magic, I roll my sleeves up. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
I don't know why I do that. Like, I genuinely don't know why I do. I've just realised for the first time, every time I do coin magic, I roll my sleeves up, don't I?
You do.
Have you noticed that before?
Yeah.
Why have you not told me?
I don't
That's
know.
weird. That's a weird thing to do. Anyway, whatever. So, where else were we? Okay, so examinability. Right. So, here's the thing. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, Mr. Unbiased Magic Reviews, when he did his video based on the trailer, he said that you couldn't, he would be all nervous putting a chip into a spectator's hand that hasn't had the, that is not examinable, right? I am going to get that off. All right, it's not examinable. Let me just go through this. I think it's worth going through. So first of all, there's no need to worry. Let's say you're using the purse handling. So this is in your pocket. So you pull the first one out. There's nothing. It's an of. There's no problem there at all. You're pulling the second one out. Let's say they're going for a spade. You've loaded that one in there. Okay, so you've loaded it in as you come out. There we go. That goes in there. You put it on their hand like that. There's nothing to worry about with that one either. That's like, it's not like it's a shell. Now the last one, I put it onto their hand. The shell. And I've never had anybody concerned about it because the focus isn't on the chips. The focus is on what you're doing. You're trying to read their mind and stuff like that. But if you're concerned, you can literally just hold the final chip here. You can put the purse away. Let's say they've gone for a 3. I can get the correct insert out and then I can take it here, pick these up as I load it in. So you're never putting a shell onto their hand if that's a concern. It's not for me, but if it's a concern for anyone else, Well, there you go. There you go. It's totally not an issue. So that's the first thing, putting chips into their hand. I think that David made a point that unless you've got incredible audience management, he'd never do that to anybody because he'd be concerned. I mean, maybe it's because I've done coin magic my entire life, but I don't have an issue with that at all, like one little jot. I don't think it's a problem, but that's addressing that one. In terms of, there's two other things. Well, there's a couple of other things that's worth addressing. One is the examinability behind these. So these, and you'll see in the live performances when people want to examine these, they'll just pick them up and turn them around like this. That's what they'll do. They'll pick them up, they'll turn them around, because the focus is not on the chips, right? The focus is on the fact that you've had this prediction. The focus isn't, you know what I mean? The focus isn't on the actual chips. So because of that, there's absolutely not an issue. They'll turn them over, they'll do this sort of thing, and there's nothing to find. However, if they do this, and they put their finger into where the insert goes, they can spin this round. Do you see that there, Michael?
Yeah.
First of all, I've never had anyone do this. That may be a magician thing to do because we know about shells, we know about inserts, but to a layperson, like, nobody ever does that. Like, that's not a thing. If they're trying to examine it, they do this sort of thing, which they can do. You see in the performance, you can throw them on the table, you can do whatever you want with them. No one's going to see anything. However, I've been contacted by a genius. I just want to say this guy's a genius. I've never met him before, but based on his Facebook communication with me, he is a genius. And unfortunately, I wrote his name down and left it at home. So Michael, genuinely, I know our video editing sometimes is a bit substandard. I really want this guy's name here, and I want to say a big thank you to him. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Because he messaged me in, and he sent me a video, and I was like, that's amazing. Why did I not think of that? And I think the reason I didn't think about it is because, for me, this is not an issue. It's never been an issue. So because it's never been an issue, it's not something that I tried to solve. It's not a problem I tried to solve. But he looked at it as something he wanted to try and solve. And he sent me a video explaining how you can make sure that these chips don't do this. And he suggests, and I'm going to give Michael the video so we can play it. It's like a 15-second video. But basically, he suggests that you put a piece of paper here inside here, and you just stick a piece of paper, a round piece of paper, you cut a round piece of paper out, and you just stick it in there like that. Now, that will not affect the magnet from sticking, but that round piece of paper stops that from turning completely. It does not turn because of the paper that he's put inside there. So you just put a little piece of paper, and you could put a little drop of glue, just to make sure it doesn't fall out. But we're going to play the video now. Once the paper's inside there on the two shells with the, on the two chips with the shells, these two here, once that paper's in there, once the insert goes in, he also makes the point that as well as it not turning, it deadens the noise even more, because now they're going against paper and not plastic. So it deadens the move even, the noise even more. So we're going to play that video right now, and you'll see the video he sent me explaining how this looks. That is genius. It's absolutely genius. As I say, I'm probably not going to do that because I can't be bothered to stick pieces of paper in my shells when I've been doing this for years and I've never had anybody ever once go, This never happened. It's not a concern of mine. However, if anybody is performing this and are concerned about it, please don't be, because you can use the piece of paper method. And I want to thank this person down here. Name again, Michael. Mental note, name here. In fact, make it really fancy. Put a really fancy way of putting his name there. And I want to thank you from Magic TV. Like, seriously, something like that. Like, because this guy's a genius, and I want to say thank you for sending that to me. But he's, game-changing idea. Absolute game-changing idea. if you are concerned about that examinability issue. The only other thing to that you need to be aware of when it comes to having these examined is if you put them like this, that they will stick together. You know, if you have them like this, they'll so if they pick them up, two of them will stick together because the magnet's inside them. So that's not really a problem because you're putting them into the hands. The magnets aren't that strong in that orientation, so like that is going to be absolutely fine, as you can see. So it's totally not an issue. They're on their hands like that. What I tend to do is I just tend to give one to each person. You'll see that in the live performances. I'll pick them up. But even when they're in their hands, they just do this. They don't realise. It's only if you pick them up like this that you'll realise that they kind of stick together. But they don't. They pick them up with their hands and they do this. And if you go look at the live performances, if you've got this, you'll see that people are just doing, they're just doing this because that's all they look at. But if you're concerned about that, when you're in here, you kind of do this, you do this, you do this. You just give one to all three people. And they're not going to find anything. And if you use the paper method, they won't even, you know, if somebody does this, they're not going to find that either. Not that anybody has. Are there any other things that I need to address? Okay, the fact that they're plastic. I know some people are concerned. A lot of people have compared this to cheetah chips, which I understand why. They're both poker chip tricks and they're both created by me. I get that. But these couldn't be more different to each other if they're tried. This is designed to do one trick. It's a card revelation without a pack of cards. It's designed to do one card revelation and do it very, very well. That's what this is designed to do. Cheetah chips is designed to do like multiple mentalism and magic routines and so on and so forth. So they're two very, very different things. But having said that, even though they are two very, very different things, the decision was made, we could have made these out of clay. These could have been made out of clay. Lloyd actually talked about that as an option, but from very early on in the process, we wanted them made out of plastic for a few different reasons. One of the main reasons is the reason cheetah chips works made out of clay is if you actually look at cheetah chips, or if somebody's here that's got a cheetah chips, you'll see that Phil, and by the way, Phil Smith did the artwork for these chips as well as the artwork for G. Basically, I can't do anything these days without Phil Smith being involved. I just can't. But Phil did the artworks for these and cheetah chips. But when he did cheetah chips, we had a fake casino on one side of the chips and everything, because it was designed to look like real chips that you get in a real casino, right? That was really important for cheetah chips. That's why they would have to be made out of clay. That's why you had to have a casino on the other side. These are designed to be casino chips. It would be more suspicious if you had chips that were made out of clay that looked like casino chips, and then you had 50 on one side and 7 of spades on the other side. What casino have you ever seen that's got a card printed on the other side of a casino chip? It never happens, right? And that's one of the reasons why we went to plastic. The other reason we went for plastic is because, at least over here in the UK, and you guys tell me at home if I'm wrong with other countries, but at least over here in the UK, unless you go to a casino and you've handled chips in a casino, most home casino chip sets, let's say you get a poker set and it's got casino chips in them, they're plastic like this. Have you?
Yeah, it would be them. It would be exactly like that you'd get. Pretty
much exactly like this, yeah. Right? And also, people know that you can have plastic chips printed up really cheaply. So if anybody said, oh, how come it's got the name of a playing card printed on the other side, which nobody ever has, but in the when we were kind of workshopping this and putting this together, it's because, well, you know, you can order these online, you can get them relatively cheaply. I just had a card printed on them because I wanted you to know absolutely without a shadow of a doubt I knew the card that you would pick. It's a little bit more believable with these plastic chips, but they're plastic, but that doesn't mean that they're bad quality. I mean, they're great quality. They do exactly what it's meant to do. The insert goes in there very, very easily. And we had an early prototype where it wasn't circular and it was zigzag. Do you remember that one?
I think so,
zigzag,
yeah.
Zigzag, the very first prototype.
Yeah.
You can see it on the box slightly, actually. And those were the original artwork. We went for 6 of spades or whatever. We wrote it out. And then we changed it to this. But the zigzagging thing was designed to stop them from moving around. Little did we know all we needed was a piece of paper. Thank you again. Your name's down below, 3rd time. Please remember that. Really annoying him now. the zigzagging was designed to stop them from moving around, and they did. They locked it in place. But the problem is, when I was putting the insert in, right? So when I had because you have the insert part, there's two ways to get the insert in. The first way is to come in like that, or the second way is to come in like that, depending on where you're performing, if you're performing here or here, whatever. I hated it because you had to have it orientated the correct way, and a lot of the time it wasn't going in, and I had to move it with my finger to get it into the right spot, and it just gave me no confidence in the trick at all. And I said to Lloyd, right, we need to make these circular. I know that it's going to be a pain in the butt because they're going to slightly rotate, but I don't think people will have an issue with it, and it's going to make it much easier for it to load in. And it is easier to load in. It's instantaneous now, and having then spent 2 years working this in the real world, nobody ever even like looks at the chip for more than a second. They just go, because they're in their hand. That's the psychology behind this routine. They're in their hand the whole time, so they just go, wow. I mean, you see it in the live performances. That's what they do. They go, wow. Excuse me. So, yeah, it's from a why are they plastic? Because I think that's the best thing. And look, these were never designed to be a real casino chip. They were never designed to be a chip. You know, I got these from this casino, the blah 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 casino, and they've got promotional chips with playing cards on the other side. It's just kind of not really that believable. But with plastic chips, it's absolutely perfect. It really is. And, that was the initial worry. I was like, what are people going to think when they see the card on the other side? You know what people think when they see the card on the other side? They freak the hell out. And I mentioned this in the Big Blind Q&A. The reason why it gets such a great reaction is because it's a surprise. If we go back to the routine very quickly, they don't think that the chips have got anything to do with this at all, not one jot. So if we go back to this point here, and we'll do this and this, there we go. So if we go back to this point here, let's say I'm doing it to Michael, I'm going to go, Michael, I'm going to try and influence you to make a decision that I want you to make. Now, everything I say, everything I do is going to be designed to actually make you think in a particular direction. And I'm hoping that I can do this. So look, I've got 3 poker chips here. I'm going to bet you £150. I can tell you what the card is that you're thinking about. Have you got a card in your mind?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so hold your hand out. I'm going to put this one here. If I get this wrong 3 times in a row, you walk away with 150 quid. I will convert this to real money for you. First 50, I bet I can tell you the suit of your card. And be honest, tell the truth, don't lie. Was your card a spade?
No.
What was it?
Hearts.
Okay, didn't see that coming. Okay, look, we've got 2 more. Let's do it again. If I lose 2 more, you get 150 quid. Second one, I bet you 50 quid. I can tell you the value of your card.
Okay.
It's an ace.
No.
What was it?
Queen.
Everyone thinks of an ace, Michael. Okay. Last one. Final chip. I bet you this final chip, I can tell you that I knew what your card would be before you even picked it. Because you see, everything I said and everything I did was designed to get you to think of one particular card. What was the card you thought of again?
The Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, everything I said, even though I told you it was like a club or whatever, I was lying. I was getting you to think of the Queen of Hearts because you changed your mind. I know you did a couple of times. And you ended up on the Queen of Hearts because I implanted that thought into your head. And to prove it to you, from the very beginning, I never showed you the other side of the poker chips. But if I had have shown you the other side of the poker chips, this is a queen, this is an off, and this is a heart. That's why I knew exactly what you would think. And you see what I mean? It's nobody ever it's a surprise. When I get to the point where I go, I can prove it to you, they're like, go on then. And people think that I'm going to pull a piece of paper out of my pocket, or I'm going to pull a prediction out of my ass or something. And then when I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I never showed you the other side of the poker chips, they still don't get it. And then when I turn the first one over, it's a heart, and I turn the next one over and it's an of, they go, no. And then you get that one and it's a queen, and they go, what? That's crazy. And then, you know, you've performed an absolutely incredible trick. And as I say, the reset is seconds. I think I've covered everything. That's how the trick works. I am very, very proud of this. I've had several people who I respect greatly telling me that they think this is the best trick that I've ever created. Lloyd Barnes has said to me that he thinks this is the best trick I've ever created. Alex from Monster Magic, Alex Kirk, has told me this is the best trick he thinks I've ever created. There's a few people that are saying that, and I'm very, very proud of this. I'm very, very proud of this, which is why it kind of upset me a little bit. When people were like, oh, the quality, before they even had them or looked at the tutorial, there was this whole controversy on the Magic Cafe. And, you know, it's kind of like, I've spent 4 years working on this. We've gone through dozens of prototypes to get to this point. How many times have there been more chips turning up at this office, like over and over?
There's been so many chips.
So many chips, so many freaking chips turning up. Okay, we've got the next prototype. No, that's no good for this reason. And I genuinely believe I've got them to the point where I think that these chips are absolutely amazing. I really do. I think these are brilliant. I don't really have anything else to say. There we go, reset. I don't really have anything else to say. It's, you know, it's a real worker. For me, this is a holy grail. We talk about ACAN being a holy grail, and it is. Atomic Deck coming soon. However, this is as much of a holy grail, in my opinion, in that there is something that's in play from the very beginning. It's not switched, and you can prove that it's absolutely 100% you accurately predicted their playing card. For me, that is a holy grail. There is one more thing. I'm going to go now because we've got things to do. However, there is one more thing that I would like to say. Michael's laughing because he's like, thought I was going to wrap it up. One more thing, which is some people said, oh, they don't like the fact that there's lots of unnecessary trips into the pocket. I don't really fully understand where that came from either. Because if you actually think about it, let's just say, you know, I don't know, they've gone for the 4 diamonds, okay? So you take the first, you've got the purse, right? So there's no pocket trips or anything. You take out the of, and you put it down on their hand, or you put it on the table. Nothing convoluted there, no trips to the pocket. David from Ambaya said it was all fiddly or something, or fidgeting, I think he used the word. That goes on the table, it goes on their hand. Then the next one is the diamond, so you just load that in as you take it out. There you go, it's that quick. That goes down there. And then you take the last one out, and if you don't want to put it in their hand, you can just hold it in your hand. This goes into the pocket. This is the first time you've gone into the pocket. You leave it there, you grab the 4, you load it in. As you do this, 4 of diamonds. I don't see how that's fidgety or unnecessary trips into the pocket. Maybe I'm missing something. You can explain down below. It's 1 trip into the pocket because you're putting the purse away. But, you know, maybe, again, I'm wrong. The only other thing worth noting is that this is designed to go on the back of a... this is designed to go on the back of a card case. It's designed to go on the back of a pay envelope. It's designed to go on the back of a phone. Have you got your phone? Very quickly. I'm not going to use it. I just want to show people that this mag locks on the back of the phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you can actually... So there's handlings where it's on the phone. You can have it in... oh, what a cat! What a cute cat! You can have it in Gambo's Cop, and you can actually load it onto a spectator's phone if you want to, and you've got the indices in full view. And there's a few different handlings with that. Javier's got an amazing handling with it. Or you can have it on your phone in your pocket, and when you pull your phone out, you've got the index in. There's so many different ways. If you don't, thank you, Michael. If you don't want to use the you know, the pocket, you don't have to. You can have it on the back of a card case, or you can have it on this side on the back of the card case. If you like the invisible deck, you can have it so it's actually stuck to the invisible deck. You can put a sheet of metal inside there so that this sticks to this, or you can just hold it in place with your thumb. It's up to you. And you can have the invisible deck thing, and you can say, you can have your 3 chips on the table and say, right, this chip is yours. This represents your choice. What suit would you like? Okay, and then as you're coming over here, you're stealing the suit. So in this handling, everything is on here. I should point that out. So everything is on there. So all of the suits are on there as well. So you have the 3 chips that you bring out, and the first person, you say, right, okay, this is your choice. Do you want, what suit do you want? And let's say they say clubs, and you go, okay, fantastic. Now it's your choice. Now I've already stolen the club. So as I say, this one here, this is your chip. This represents your choice. What value would you like? And let's say they say the 2, and you go, brilliant, okay, no problem. And now I've already got the 2 here. So now up here, you'd say this is, sorry, this is, that would have gone there. This is your choice. face up or face down, which is a wonderful Cody Fisher line, face up or face down. And they go face down, and you go, okay, now remember, this deck of cards has been here the whole time. Now, you can take the cards out and leave it here and just put the box away, and this is got rid of, or you can just Gambler's Cop this. And you can just stick it in your pocket, you know, and as you take this out to do the invisible deck, and then you say, well, maybe I flipped a card over and you didn't notice, which is why I never showed you the other side of the poker chips. But if I had, this would have been the 2 of clubs. So the index doesn't have to be in your pocket. It can be out in play. You can have it anywhere you want it. But yeah, I think I'm done. I think I've got nothing else to say. Any questions, let me know down below. I love this trick. This is my favourite opener. I have 9 times out of 10 at a walk around gig, this is what I'm opening with. It is strong, it is powerful, and it always gets a great reaction. But any other questions that you've got about anything, I've tried to be as transparent as I can, but if you have any other questions, please let me know down below. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, you can get Big Blind from your favourite Magic dealer. Is it on Magic TV yet? Is it on our shop?
It should be.
Oh, is it? Cool. You can get it from us if you want to, or you can get it from your favourite Magic dealer. It's completely up to you. But yeah, pick it up and let me know what you think. I love this trick. Outside of that, I'll see you again soon. We're going to be starting this week the Blackpool content. So in other words, every single day there's going to be something related to Blackpool going up on Magic TV. So we're going to be kind of adjusting the schedule a little bit. It's going to be all Blackpool. I'm going to have a lot of interviews with dealers and a whole bunch of other stuff. So make sure you look out for that. If you haven't seen Big Blind in person, you know, we'll have some at Blackpool, but it is limited quantities. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.